Today we will learn something new. Today I will teach you the literature 5th chapter of your syllabus, the Trojan Horse. It is a very interesting story. You just listen it very minutely and carefully. This story has a background. This story is derived from the great Trojan War between Greece and Troy. This Trojan War, it has a history which took place 3000 years ago between Greece and Troy. In Greek mythology, the Trojan War was waged, means took place between the Greece and Troy. It took place after Paris, the Trojan prince of Troy, took Helen from her husband Menelaus, who was the king of Sparta. The war was one of the most important events in Greek mythology and has been described in many works of Greek literature, especially the great poet Homer's Iliad. We know that Homer, a great poet, was very much famous for his two great epic, Iliad and Odyssey. So this story is from Iliad. At last, the Greeks won the war. But we have to know why the war happened. When Prince of Troy, Paris, took Helen, who was the most beautiful lady at that time and who was the wife of Menelaus, the king of Greece, he took her and not returning her, Menelaus requested Paris, but they ignored. That is why Menelaus then persuaded Agamemnon, Menelaus' brother, to plan for a war. And the war just took place, and at last the Greeks won the war. The end of the war came with a brilliant idea by Odysseus. Odysseus was a Greek hero. He planned a beautiful idea. He planned to build a giant hollow wooden horse, an animal that was sacred to the Trojans, means the people of Troy. It was filled with the soldiers led by Odysseus. And Odysseus, for your information, he was very famous for his intellect and wit. He was very famous for his long journey called Odyssey and trying to return home after a long war with the people of Troy. Now come to the story. Once upon a time, a war broke out between Greece and Troy.
Years ago, the Athenians were at war.
You can see the Paris. Now here you see
the most beautiful.
The picture of Helen, who was the most beautiful lady at that time, and the queen of Menelaus, the king of Sparta.
Woman in Greece, the king of Sparta.
Picture of Paris, the prince of Troy, who kidnapped and took Helen and not returning to Menelaus. It was the root cause of this Trojan War.
Kings gave an oath to protect her merits, the Athenians.
Now this is the picture of Menelaus and his wife Helen. You can see the picture of Menelaus and Helen. Helen was the most beautiful lady, and this is the root cause of this Trojan War. So the war broke out between Greece and Troy. Greeks had came to take back Helen, the beautiful wife of Greek general Menelaus, the Trojan prince. Paris had brought Helen to Troy and was not returning her. So finally, the Greeks had attacked the city of Troy. So finally, the Greeks had attacked the city of Troy with the thousands of sheep. The Greeks attacked the city of Troy.
The ship set sail, and war was just around the corner.
Of Troy had built a sturdy wall with guard towers around the city. The people of Troy had built a sturdy wall with guard towers around the city. No one could enter the city once the gates of the wall were closed. The Greeks made several attempts to break the wall or unlock the gates, but could not succeed. Despite all their efforts, Greeks had failed to enter the city of Troy. Now the war started between the two countries, Greece and Troy. Greek soldiers were disappointed and tired. Had started, and it took long 10 years to complete. The soldiers were attacking each other. Between the Greeks and Trojans, the soldiers, they have fought very bravely. But as it was a long war between the Greeks and Trojans, the soldiers became very tired. The Greek soldiers. This is a picture of Odysseus, the great Greek hero. In your book, it is written Ulysses, the Greek general. In some Roman mythology, Odysseus is named as Ulysses. But in fact, what is the fact? Odysseus and Ulysses are two different persons. When the soldiers got very tired, then Odysseus made a plan. He was thinking just overnight, and when you see this horse, and suddenly when Odysseus see the horse outside their tent, he got a brilliant idea that clicked in his head. Then he thought about the Trojan horse, which was a hollow wooden horse, and there was enough space inside to keep people inside. Got an idea to make the Trojan horse, that is the wooden horse, they can fight the sturdy wall of Troy and can defeat the Trojans. This is the wooden hollow Trojan horse. Odysseus and other brave soldiers were inside this horse. Now the king of Troy, they thought that it was a gift from the Greece and they have left the battlefield. Horse was built. The horse had wheels and to make it move. Next day, when people of Troy saw the Greeks going away, they also saw the smoke. Then showed that Greeks had left the town, and they saw the wooden horse and bring back the wooden horse inside the palace. In the night, when all people of Troy went off to sleep, Ulysses and his soldiers came out of the house, and without losing time, they unblocked the gates of the other soldiers who had now returned from the island and were waiting outside the wall. They had started the war. The guards of Troy saw the Greeks and alerted their army. A war began, and in no time the city of Troy was in hands of Greeks. The wise Ulysses not only took back Helen, but also gave a lesson to the Trojan prince.